should there be some type of special arrangement with Dutchess because it's a neighboring?
I'll only tell you this, we stand ready, willing, and able to be able to participate in that process. Obviously, it would be a revenue source for the people of Ulster County, but in addition to that, it would provide relief for people in Dutchess County. The question really is, at a state level, can we clear the hurdles that allow that to happen? Again, it seems ridiculous to be in a situation in which Ulster County not only has a brand new $100 million facility with capacity, we also have a previous jail that, by the way, with just a mild amount of real renovations, can be usable again, at least for a portion of the population. So to think that we have this kind of capacity, in addition to state facilities and all the other things, and the people in this room, many of the people in this room, are going to be punished to pay for facility upon facility upon facility upon facility, all for what? Ultimately, to what end? If we're going to provide the kind of services that we need to people, we have to do it better, smarter, and obviously faster, just like this.
Sure, Jen?
Yeah, in Orange County, we were fortunate, I guess. We started this process back in the early 90s. And we finally built a new jail, and we housed it probably around 2001. So Mark, I know how long it takes to build jails and how long it takes to close nursing homes, I can tell you that. But certainly, I feel for everybody in the room, because the study we had done with Jerry Benjamin and Pattern, it's an 8-county study. We reviewed it, we've discussed it, we've talked about it. The state has to get on board with us. And we keep going back to the state. And not that we want to, but there are so much programming and so many decisions that are made at the state level that affect us as counties that need to be looked at. Very antiquated. We have staffing, right? Many, many people work in our corrections facility. Since I've been the county executive, we installed about 400 cameras. There was not one in the whole facility. They will not allow the camera to take place of a body, of a person, in hallways, in areas where there's nobody even there, that you have to put a man or a female, a person in a hallway midway, okay, with very little movement of prisoners. And the camera's looking right at that area. The state says, no way, can't do it. So they just continue to tie our hands. The areas we know that can look as a regional approach is females, juveniles. We only have a select few of those in each county. Can we house them in one facility? We have a 50-pod unit. If I have a couple of females, I must open a whole pod for 2 people. They need the coverage, we get that. Is there a better way? We had a regional approach though, and if this county had 3, we had 2, they had 4, you could transport them to one facility. State pushes that back. Same with the juveniles, same with medical. Dentist. Do we need a dentist that comes in each facility? If you have a dental problem, maybe a dentist would move around 1 day a week or a half a day in this jail, in that jail, in this jail. You save that cost. On video arraignments, the court system just says, no, they shudder with that. But technology today would save tremendous amounts of money in transportation costs, which is unbelievable amount of money. We were talking about video visitations, where you can Skype and talk to people. Okay, how's everything going today? Instead of physically coming to that facility. These are the things that we've talked about. These are the things that the report has talked to, but we need so much of the state buy-in to these ideas and new thinking. And a court system that goes hand in hand with it as well. So the whole system needs revamping. We have to look at the regional approach. Look, I have an ICE contract with Immigration and Customs. We make $6 million a year in revenue. A previous county executive didn't want that to happen, and the previous sheriff. We got together and said, why wouldn't we make that happen? I still got all the fences up, I got all the cameras working, I got all the people working, so I can't cover 650 and I can only cover 400? That's ridiculous. I'll take that, so.
Let me just jump in for a second. A lot of these things, as you point out,
Sure.
they need state,
Okay,
approval
right.
for. Is there anything that you three can say that you can cooperate on, that can be in a regional agreement? And could you tell the audience right now, we talk about these issues for years and years, very hard to get any traction on them. Could you, A, identify an issue, and B, give a deadline, say by the end of the year, we're gonna have some type of agreement on, it could be something small, just anything. Well, Mike, go ahead.
To me, this is, again, to me, this is a really easy one. When you think about things like walkway over the Hudson, when you think about the connections that we all have, again, if you are a visitor to our community, if you're coming from Brooklyn, if you're coming from the Bronx, if you're coming from parts of Connecticut or New Jersey, you don't think of coming to Orange County or Ulster County or Dutchess County. You think, I'm gonna go to the Hudson Valley, I'm gonna go to the Catskills, I'm gonna go upstate. However you look at it, I guarantee you, you don't look at it defined by these borders, these imaginary borders. So clearly, tourism can be an enormous tool for everybody. That said, now that Bill's gone, I can tell a great story about it. When the walkway,
I have a few.
when the walkway over the Hudson was being dedicated, it was amazing. It was a remarkable day. It was a beautiful day. We all walked out to the very center of the span. Pete Seeger was singing to the left of us. We were, that's kind of appropriate, isn't it? Anyway. Hey, listen, it's as good a joke as I got this time of the morning. Anyway, we're in the middle of the span. It's packed, thousands of people. No one can move. These dancers come out. Whoever choreographed this, by the way, kudos to them. The folks, they were dancers. They were going to tie a big, huge rope right in the middle. I was there. I had a wonderful opportunity to be there with my wife and my son at the time. It was very exciting. These two ballet dancers come out. They tie the rope in the very middle, and just as one is about to do a huge pirouette, this beautiful ballerina absolutely drills Bill Steinhaus in the stomach. Boom! It's very tight quarters. Bill does a little bit of a taco move at the time. And just at that moment, my son leaned over and said, "This is the best event I have ever been to." So.
Okay, so what is your agreement you're gonna have with?
I'm going with tourism.
By the end of tourism.
Again,
Regional wrestling competition.
Tourism clearly is.
Okay.
From my perspective, it's one of those things that binds us all. There's only winners in that situation. Again, the more people we draw to the Hudson Valley, the better it is for all of us. The better it is to be able to offset local tax dollars with outside dollars.
Okay, Edward, same question. What, give me an issue, give me a
Real
time.
easy, purchasing. I think we can collectively purchase together on many, many items that will save tremendous amounts of money. Not only for the governments, you could take schools into it, local municipalities into it, you could expand it to such a level that I think you would have tremendous amounts of savings for everybody, and very simple.
Mark?
Yes. Tourism, certainly a regional tourism approach, certainly purchasing, we've talked about that as a region, and I would offer again, and it's not because it's only, it is a Dutchess County concern as well, and that is the delivery of mental health services. In particular, the shift to a community-based model will necessitate a regional approach, and in fact, there already, I think, are the underpinnings of what will become a more regional approach to mental health delivery.
Okay, so moving from a regional approach, I have one last question that had been submitted to us, and I just need to ask, so are there issues that can be better delivered at the county level that are currently delivered by towns and villages? So a different approach to regionalism within your own county. And Mike, I'm going to ask you to do this one, but I also want to do this because I need to ask you to clear up something. Is there a different level of government that you're interested in? And are you willing to try to clear that up? And then, if you wouldn't mind, please answer the specific question I've asked.
This is a great question.
Love that question.
Only reporters would really like that question. I'm assuming that's a question about Congress, first off?
Yes, I'll clarify that, yeah.
Okay, well, I'll touch on that. I'm sorry I'm not going to make any news at this moment. But what I will tell you is this. It's wonderful, it's incredibly flattering, and hopefully what it is an indication that we've made real change in Ulster County. You know, we took Ulster County government from the ground floor. Literally, there wasn't a government there, and tried to install the kinds of principles necessary to be able to move the county forward. So again, I haven't made a decision on that, but I appreciate the question.
Okay.
Anyway, the other portion of it, which is what do counties do better, and what could be done better at a county level? Clearly, I believe that we have to remove impediments for things like business. One of the things that I get concerned about is when I see every single town need to have commercial assessors. That's a really hard burden to put on a town government, and it's a very inconsistent model that's taken across the entire community. I'd love to see, at least for commercial assessment, that done at a county level. I think that's one of those things that we can clearly make that leap, and it's a betterment for the people of our community.
Eddie, one more.
I think there's two areas that we could do very quickly. One is dispatching. We have a tremendous 911 center that we had constructed about 5 years ago in an emergency management building. We do dispatching now for many fire communities. In the communities, we do some police. We don't do enough. I believe that the dispatching in Orange County should be done from one area, and that's out of the 911 center at the county level. We do have 2 new townships we signed up to bring them in. Hopefully, I think we'll get them all eventually, because the amount of dollars that we could save is I'm just beyond belief. One of our communities was paying about $580,000 a year for that. We reduced that cost in half to about $250,000. So save them instantly $250,000 to $300,000, one community. I have 42 communities in our county. So dispatching by far. And the other one, I believe, is assessing. I would push for countywide assessing, not only on everything. I think it makes the most sense. We have 17 school districts in our county. Certainly you don't want to start crossing school boundary lines. That would help tremendously. We have 1 school district outside of our boundaries and within. But I think that's the other area that we should move in that direction. We have 3 townships we signed up last year on using part-time personnel. They pay for that and save them thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars on their assessing. The best time to do that, obviously, is they had an assessor retiring in those 3 townships, so it worked. No one was displaced. We took some of those people, so I think assessing and dispatching are 2 areas that we can move in the right direction very quickly and see substantial amounts of dollars being saved. So that's 2 areas.
I can imagine that the only thing being worse than being the 3rd of the 3 of you is being 6th of the 6 of us. So I would like to, I agree. We're scheduling a meeting, in fact, with all of our supervisors and mayors. We're going to make a regular leadership meeting with those who serve at that capacity in Dutchess County. I'd like to see us begin conversation on consolidating assessing services at the county level. Again, economic indicators, real estate values don't end at some municipal boundary. I'd like to see us move in that direction to provide savings at the municipal level. Expanding on what Dutchess County does already in the area of purchasing. We have a coordinated purchasing program. Not all of our municipalities participate. And to the business people in this room, what that means is if we can begin the process of more aggressively consolidating purchasing, and then also work to educate our existing businesses to give premium and priority to purchasing from Dutchess County, region, state businesses in that order of priority, and then have the county be the coordinating entity in that regard. We can use and leverage municipal government dollars to help, I hope, increase economic opportunity within the county. And then lastly, what I mentioned when we started, to the degree that our county government can engage in the pre-approval planning process so that we can lead with municipalities. Have municipalities identify what they hope for themselves, comprehensive planning, certainly, all of that is driven at the local level. This county has a fairly aggressive Greenway Compact. We give a lot of tools and resources to create the plan. I'd like county government to be in the position of assisting municipalities affect the plan, so that not every municipality needs to go through an individual review. Let us do a collective environmental review to get ahead of development possibilities, to get ahead of preserving open space and farmland, to get ahead of preserving our natural resources, so that we can direct development in a way that would benefit the centers of our county and see, I think, economic and job growth.
Okay, so in part of the rule changes for today,